How can you find it when lightning may strike? And how do you count the fish in the sea? How can you tell if a child is growing normally, if baseball is getting better, or traffic is getting worse? How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics series, Against All Odds.
Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Health care, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by Six and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
Welcome, everybody, to the IPFW Mastodon. This is Tim Heffern along with April Bear calling the action in tonight's men's volleyball game between the University of Quincy and Indiana Purdue at Fort Wayne. Let's go down to the floor for the introductions.
A 6-foot freshman from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 4, Brian Carlson. A 6-foot senior from Springfield, Illinois, number 9, Al Bella. A 6'3" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 5, Eric Eastman. A 6-foot senior from Chicago, Illinois, and captain, number 6, Brady Collings. A 6'6" junior from Quincy, Illinois, number 7, Kurt Stuckman. And a 6'4" senior from Park Forest, Illinois, number 11, Mike Prokopik. And now for the starting lineup for your IPFW Volleydons. A 6'4" freshman from San Jose, Puerto Rico, Ricardo Soyer. A 6'6" junior from Ponce, Puerto Rico, number 7, Felipe Rolat. A 6'8" senior from Woodburn, Indiana, number 10, Loy Ball. A 6'5" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 12, Craig Collins. A 6'7" freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 14, Mike Termelin. And a 6'4" senior from Puerto Rico and captain, number 15, Norman Almodovar. The Volleydons are coached by Arnie Ball, assistant coaches Dave Schmidlin, Lauren Giebert, and Mark Franke. The Hawks' head coach is Mark Blicken.
And we have the shaking of the hands here by the captains and teams. One quick note here, number 6, no, I believe it's number 9, Al Bella, is the setter for Quincy. He registered to me directly that he is not 6 foot, he's 5'11", and from Brooklyn, New York. He wanted me to specifically say that. And what kind of a match are we in for here tonight, April?
I think the Volleydons need to concentrate on the finer points in volleyball, like how they work their plays and things, because I believe they're going to have a chance to really get together and play as a team tonight, and don't think it's going to be quite a tough match, but they're going to have some competition.
That sounds good. We're not expecting exactly a close match, but Quincy, being a young team, just like Milwaukee, they're just trying to get their feet under them, trying to get up with some consistency, trying to get their feet wet here. And we're off with the first serve by Loy Ball. Rather easy one for him, just trying to get it in first. Big swing, they're looking for a touch, nothing there. Loy might try to whip one a little stronger this time here. A little more steam on that one.
think they're going to be playing really well together. Felipe, he's been playing really well lately, and him and Loy seem to work together really well.
They certainly do. You can tell they've been doing it for a couple years now. And they're in. Nice play by Norman. Just one heck of a play by Ricky hitting the board. And unfortunately, Mike let that ball go thinking it was out, but it was in. That's nice to see. Against a team like this, you really don't have to go for that ball. But what do you think about that?
It's nice to see them working as a team like that and knowing that they have enough effort to pull it out.
It's nice to note that Craig really started smoking some yesterday in last night's match. He really hit the ball harder than I've ever seen him hit the ball. He needs to keep that kind of thing up for the rest of the year now. Passing a little erratic here for Quincy. They're just trying to get some semblance of offense. Real tough to do without a pass. Being a middle hitter, what do you have to say about that?
Without the pass, it's hard to get the middle hitter in the right position, and really the pass is the key for them. And if they don't pass well, they're going to have some trouble tonight.
Should mention that April here didn't really have a whole lot of time to introduce ourselves here. I'm the head women's volleyball coach here, and April Bear here is our one of our middle hitters, and so hopefully we'll bring you some interesting tidbits about the game here and strategy as we go. That's not one of the type of strategies you want to do is serve out of bounds, however.
Right.
Oh, good swing, good swing. It looked pretty good. I guess it must have gone, and I thought it hit the net. Maybe it hit the net or the antenna or something like that. I thought he had it off the hands there, but apparently not. Norman didn't seem to say anything about that, and if he thinks you made a bad call, he might let you know. Is that right?
Yeah, he will let you know if there's something he doesn't like.
And there's the freshman. Being a middle hitter, and of course Mike here is the middle hitter for us. How do you think he's progressing so far this season?
It seems like he looks timid. I think he's been playing really well tonight and last night, but it seems like he just maybe needs a little enthusiasm. I heard Coach Arnie asking him last night, "Where's your enthusiasm?" And I think that's all he needs, and he'll definitely improve.
Of course, he's been here with the Dons since January, so it's a pretty short time for anybody to come in and take a leading role such as they're putting him in here. It's an interesting offense there. It looked like they were attempting to pass the ball there. Really looked like they were trying to pass the ball to the left side of the court.
It did.
Are you familiar with the southpaw system? Probably. It's like a really rare type of offense that they're running right now, and they usually do that kind of thing when you have like left-handed middles and that kind of thing. You just flip-flop the offense from the right side of the area to the left side, and run it from over there. Also, your setter doesn't have to run as far. So it looks like that's their strategy, and so I'm not sure if the Dons are ready for that and how they're going to adjust to it.
I think with a team like this, it's hard to play down to a different level, maybe not a level that you're used to playing, and so hopefully we'll see IPFW play above that.
Exactly, and just as you mentioned, just as a coach myself, we got a timeout by Quincy here. As a coach myself, when you're playing a team that's maybe not physically as gifted as you are, you always worry about that letdown.
Right.
The men's and women's basketball teams will be back in action next week as they host Belmont next Thursday.
The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming,
including IPFW telecasts. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805, or call us at 481-6000. We're back on serve with Craig Collins. He's really been working on his floater serve, and I've been watching it myself because I was working with him this week on it. He likes to toss the ball back on top of his head. And for any of you young volleyball players, that is a no-no. You want to toss the ball out in front of you and put your body into it. He's still tossing that ball on top of him. And consequently, he doesn't get quite the strength. Can't get the strength and a really good solid punch to the ball. So it tends to have spin on it, tends not to be as strong a serve. Although he's going for a short serve, which doesn't require so much of that kind of strength, but still, you need to toss that ball out in front of you. It's a nice back row hit by Pepa. What do you think about the back row attack?
I think IBFW has a good strategy in keeping the ball low. They don't set it much higher, if any higher, than their front row sets, and this really lets the blockers on the opposite team, they can't get there in time. So the back row players or the back row hitters have an advantage. They don't have as many blockers.
Exactly, and that's just an excellent point, because Arnie really likes the idea of keeping the offense high yet low. So you keep the offense at a high angle. Your setter is always jump setting the ball, but you're keeping the speed of the offense up and not setting the ball high, so it makes it a high and low type offense. Extremely difficult to defend.
True.
There's Norman trying that a special type of jump serve I've seen him work on lately. He's not really trying to overpower it. He's trying to put some side spin on it and make it spin a lot so that it dies real quickly into the corners. Extremely difficult serve to master, but when I've seen him do it a couple times, it's an auto ace every time.
I think both teams need to concentrate on their serves tonight. It looks like we've had 3 or 4 in a row out.
Yep. Pepa with a nice block there, but he's been working on his blocking during the week here, working with our middle hitters on keeping their hands high before they jump and penetrating the net. One flies off our young freshman here, but sooner or later he's going to learn how to pick those up. That's not exactly Loy's best tip in the world. That was a little better. He's not satisfied with it, though. You can see the look on his face there.
Right. If they do something that they don't like, they definitely try to make up for it, especially Loy.
Score is 13-1 at this point. A relatively easy game for the Dons. Pretty much have them under control. We got a free ball coming over. Pepa takes it. There's the combination. We talked about it last night, and Don likes it. That kind of combination is what we call a timing combination. It's, in effect, trying to get a blocker unable to time both attackers, and consequently have to guess at which attacker to go with, and usually they guess wrong when Loy's setting. Jump serve here.
Point, Quincy.
14-2 the score. Second pass is on target with Craig hitting the middle. And of course, I really don't think their middle blockers are going to be able to hang with our middle hitters.
I think we definitely have a little better athleticism maybe in our middles. Quincy doesn't seem so energetic about being in that middle. They seem to want to pull the ball outside all the time to their best hitter.
And that's the game for the Dons here. Both teams exit the court. 15-2 our score. Nice job by the Dons. What are your impressions here, April, of the first game?
I think IPFW is going to notice that they don't need maybe as much effort, so hopefully they can keep their effort level up. I think they did in that game. They played really well together and had a lot of nice plays, so it's kind of like a big practice for them, I think.
Definitely maybe a chance to see some of our younger folks here.
Definitely.
Get a chance to get some swings in here tonight. Our Our referees are Dan Brandt on top and Bob Michael taking the umpire position. And we will be back after these messages.
Tom Laverdetta's book on electrical engineering technology is required reading at dozens of universities in America and abroad. At IPFW, students learn from the expert who wrote the book. Being a successful scholar and teacher isn't unusual at IPFW. To find out for yourself, you could check out the faculty's books. Even better, check out their classes. Call admissions today to learn how you can become a student at IPFW, where experts teach.
Is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center with volleyball action tonight. MIVA conference match between Quincy University in Illinois and the IPFW Volleydons. And just between games here, we saw the entire bench for IPFW warming up here. What do you think that means, April?
I think a lot of the younger players that maybe don't have as much experience are definitely going to get some tonight. They're going to be able to show what they can do, and I think they're going to have a good night.
Sounds good. Referee is now clearing the floor here. We'll get everything straightened away, get ready for the second game of our probably three-set match. As a series note here, IPFW has won the only meeting between the two schools last season, 15-9, 15-10, 15-8. Quincy is in its first year of competition in the MIVA this year, joins the conference rivals IPFW and Lewis as the only NCAA D2 schools in the league.
Front door. After the final match, make an airplane and see if you can get in the pool.
I can't hear a thing either.
You may win a free round trip anywhere in the United States.
And we have the teams lining up on the end line, and our Quincy coach getting his lineup in here a little late. That could cost him a card. Mark Blicken is a little late with his lineup check there. Don looks like he wants to enter the game at this point.
Looks like that.
I saw him take a pretty good dig there last night. He got in the hitting lines.
Yeah?
He did a pretty nice job.
Looks like we have the same lineup as we had before in the first game.
That's good there. Same lineups, and yes, there comes the card, I believe, from Dan Brandt, our top official. He's going to award a card, a yellow card, which is only a warning, no penalty, but the next time, that's a team delay there, the next time it will be a red card, which is worth 1 point. Not that the Dons may need that kind of support tonight, but it never hurts. And we're off. Pretty tough serve there for the first serve. That's a nice floater. We got the slide, the spread offense for the Dons. Nobody's really sure who should be taking that ball for Quincy. And out of the back row comes Norman out of the right side, which is unusual for him. They're trying something new there. Once again, we have very nice penetration from our middle blocker.
It seems like that's the case tonight. I'm not sure if Quincy is ready for our tall blocks or if they're just hitting it maybe off. We've had a lot of blocks this evening already.
Loy's starting to speed up his jump serve a little bit here. Nice roll, but the Dons pick it up. Norman out of the middle. I don't know if that ball really made it over the net that time. He's trying for that angle. He likes to go inside the block a lot. It's one of his favorite shots.
That's one thing I like about Norman. Whenever he's hitting out of the back row, he always hits it his hardest.
Do you do that too? Is that right?
I learned from him.
April, definitely one of our hardest hitters on our team. Doesn't tip the ball a whole lot, which I like, being the coach. The Dons are starting to build their lead again here now. They're up 1-0. Got some kind of a question as far as rotation and who should be serving for the Dons. Bob Michael checking with the scorekeeper, Sue Orr. And there's a significant question because he is now going over to Dan and going to attempt to find out what to do about it. It's always an interesting situation when you get the referees talking. That's an out rotation alignment. He served, IPFW served, so that's an automatic side out.
Side out to the Hawks. Service out of rotation.
And Bob Michael explaining it to Arnie Ball right now. Arnie says, that's the breaks. Them's the breaks. See, even Arnie can make mistakes. Not that I make any myself, but April might have a different view on that. Little play that's more of a Harry Carey play here on that was not the general offense you want to have going for the Dons.
I think we just need to get our momentum back here, and the Dons will be all right.
I think you're right. So instead of the Dons being up 1-0, we have Quincy being up 1-0. Pepa getting ready to serve. He chooses his floater this time. Fairly nice one. You see 3 Dons hustling after that ball there. That's another thing that we were really working on in practice this week is when a ball hits the floor, everybody's got to be going for that ball. There should never be a time when a ball hits the floor and somebody is not going for it. There's our combination, yet another timing play. And Ricky Soler just has a field day with those as long as the middle drives hard and is on time, that second option will be open.
It seems like Ricky's really stepped up and played well, being his first year here with the Volleyball.
I think you're right. And he again, being a freshman, coming in and having to assume that kind of responsibility is pretty awesome. And he's just done a really nice job these last couple of weeks.
It is really hard to step up as a freshman because you don't know what to expect, and you don't know what the other team or what the rest of your team might do.
Little pineapple shot off the block. They pick it up, and it's a lift on the setter. He's not real sure about it, unfortunately for him. Bella didn't seem to think it was too bad. Tries it again, and we get the Drano.
And right there, it looked like both the blockers were there, but they just didn't reach over the net. That's why it fell in front of them. They weren't close enough to that net.
And Craig going for that backcourt blue set, as they call it in the IPFW offense. Seemed to let it slide off the side of his hand, go out of bounds. There's another pineapple shot. They're there to pick that one up also. Pepa has a much better set this time. We go back to the middle. It's dug up. Nice dig by Quincy, and they hit the ball out of bounds. It's not the best play to set your setter. What do you think about that? If you're a middle hitter, do you want to set your set or do you want to set somewhere else?
Gosh, I would try to set it outside. That's normally where your team is expecting you to go, and you need to stay with the momentum of the team.
Definitely, definitely, and the Dons have a nice roof there. As the combination of Pepa and Loy proves lethal. Mike with a little tentative serve there, maybe not focusing quite long enough. Kind of dead in the building right now. They're trying to build some momentum after that easy first game here. You can tend to let down. Mike with a blue. Evans. Lloyd takes a shot at it. Really didn't extend his arm when he swung at that ball. His elbow is bent, and you tend to sail him when you do that. Nice combination. Boy, I tell you, Craig just looks real good out of that back row lately.
He is doing very well. He had good extension, and hopefully he'll pick up the team and with that kill.
There he is again. He's just really uncoiling his body. You know, he always seems like he's so coiled up, and just trying to get him to extend his arms and his legs. And you can see this replay here. You can see what we're talking about. Gosh, he just reaches real well in that particular hit. I think we had a late middle blocker getting over there, and it kind of went off the inside of his shoulder and drained between the two blockers. Once again, we have an interesting alignment here because with the jump server, the Dons like to pass with three people. And with the particular folks they have in there, they don't want Spider and Mike to pass the ball. So Pepa, who's a middle hitter in front row, usually would never step back and pass the ball. But in that particular situation, he will step back and pass the ball for that particular serve receive, which is very unusual in most offensives of volleyball.
It looks like now the Volleyball are just letting Quincy make the mistakes, and they're keeping up their end of the game.
Quincy just putting the ball in play that time, and that's a extremely significant sign of an inexperienced middle blocker when he jumps with a back row setter.
True, you need to know who's in the front row, and that way you know who is going to be able to jump. Everybody in the front row has their people that they need to watch, and you need to be aware of that when you're playing.
A little miscommunication there by Quincy, as they have a little trouble now with their offense. Trying that side spinner again, just slid out the side that time. Ricky with a nice pass, moves his feet well tonight. Gets in position to pass the ball and hit the ball with his feet very well. That's the difference in his game. When he does that, he's successful, and when he doesn't, he makes the other team look real good. As we have a back row setter called. He attacked the ball. Actually, he's trying to bring it back on his side, but he contacted the ball above the net, and it went over the net. He's back row. That's a back row attack. Now, that time, they attempted the old cross play there, but as you can see, the middle hitter was not up in time, did not fool anybody, and there's a triple block there sitting for the 2-ball. Once again, that middle blocker is extremely important in setting up that play. Nice pickup by Quincy. They get a nice little roll shot into the middle of the court. And Craig Collins should have been blocking. He decided not to. Opened up a hole in the court for Quincy to put it through. Steve Simonson into the game for the Dons. He's a spark plug. He's like 0 for 2, I think, for his jump serves here at home. Maybe he'll get one in tonight on the jump serve. He's got an excellent floater anyway. I think he likes to bring out that jumper for maybe a little show, a little spark, a little energy. He's going to go with the floater first, get that first one in, or attempt to get that first one in. hits the antenna out of bounds. And we see Steve setting the offense now. We've got a, basically you put Simonson, who is also a backup setter, in for the right side position and makes Loy a hitter now. Gives him an opportunity to take some swings at the ball. Steve makes another nice set there, and once again, it's really difficult for the hitters to pick up the hands of a new setter because they just are so different. They're different in height, so the timing of the when the ball gets there is completely different, and the quickness of their hands are usually different. So it's an adjustment for the hitters. They have to figure it out.
In that last play there, we see Quincy, only one person going for that ball that's shanked off, and that's one thing you need to see is everybody working together, and it looks like Quincy might be falling apart here.
Yeah, they don't look real confident at this point. They're just kind of going through the motions here. They're looking for somebody for a spark. As the ball never made it over the net, went right into the net, and Quincy got called for 4 hits. The score is 10-4 at this point. Don seemed to have firm control on this game as well. A little overset there, trying to deceive somebody. 2 people had it though. Norman takes a good swing. Ball is down. Point, IPFW. Timeout, Quincy. As we're about halfway through this this match here, if indeed we go only 3 games. Crowd a little sparse here tonight, but I think that has something to do with the roads being real slick.
Tune in to Channel 6 Thursday evening, February 17th at 6 p.m. to watch Bellarmine College play the IPFW Lady Dons. Then at 8 p.m., the men's team from Bellarmine College take on the IPFW Mastodons. Catch all the action of IPFW basketball right here on Channel 6.
The Lady Dons had a successful Friday night, I know. They beat, or Thursday night, they beat Southern Indiana, who was second in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. And if the Lady Dons can continue that kind of success, they're going to be right up there and get into a position for a berth for the tournament. Nice play, a little pancake there by Pepa. Good swing by Eloy. They put it back into the middle, and another pancake, and it's still alive, and they just can't get it over. Pepa not happy with that. Slams the ball into the floor. Could be a yellow card, but he just may be joking around there a little bit too. We got another player into the game. I didn't see it. Must have come in at that side out. Brad Perditis in the game. Nice passer, nice player. Jumps well, hits the ball high. What do you think of Brad Perditis?
I think he's stepped up well too. I know he didn't have a lot of playing time last year, but he has stepped up and really helped the Dons this year. He's been passing well, and I think he can really spark the team if he gets going here.
Pepa just sent that one a little long. It's a pretty nice set by Steve, considering the pass. That's a big hit. That's a very big hit as Norman steps it up when we need a side out. Went over the block and down.
Norman is good at stepping up and taking his position and really helping the team and showing them that it can be done if you just try.
And we've got Huntley coming into the game here for Mike, as Arnie has some words for Michael.
Last night we saw Huntley step up and really swing at the ball as he jump served. And hopefully he can do that for us tonight also.
Arnie's not quite as vocal. There's not quite the intensity level on the bench as last night.
It doesn't seem that way.
He's been one who's been known to get quite intense on the bench, you know. His counterpart, I, on the other hand, I don't get so intense on the bench, do I, April?
Oh, no. Maybe sometimes.
Maybe sometimes. Maybe more often than not. I don't know. That serve sails a little long. And we've got Norman up again, and nope, he hands the ball off to Loy. Loy might give it the old spinner. 13-6 our score. And that's a lift by the middle hitter. And once again, you know, when the ball's set and then you don't think you're getting set, that's a good indication that you're not on time as a middle hitter. Big serve. This could close it out, puts him in disarray. Big three-person block, and we have a net on Norman. Norman smiles about it, says, hey, I didn't touch that net. Who are you kidding? But it's a net nonetheless. Nice pass by Norman. Pape on the outside, blasts away.
That's great to see Pepa hitting from the middle and then going outside and having another kill. You need to be able to go around and do the different things that your setter tells you to, and he pulled it off really well.
Doesn't get a whole lot of balls set out there, and of course the timing is quite different out
Very
there
much.
than in the middle, as you can probably attest to.
In that play there, it looks like the Volleyball are maybe moving back, waiting for that free ball, and Quincy just dumps it over the net real easy. They just need to get 1 foot stopped, and they'll be able to get that ball.
And we have a substitution. Yes, they're going to substitute as Huntley comes out. He wanted to stay in the middle there, work that middle blocking position over a little bit, but coach says, no, why don't you come on over here with me. Pass is an ace. And that's the game, 15-6, as the teams once again exit the court. Your impressions on game 2 with the new folks that we saw?
The new folks stepped up well. I think the Dons are staying together rather well, considering maybe the adjustments they need to make against this team. It's not quite such a difficult team to play against, but then again, you can always go down to their level and not play as well. So I think the Dons are doing good, keeping together and getting those new people some experience.
All right. We will be back after these messages.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western world will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it. We scorn it. We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health.
This is Tim Heffern along with April Bear. We're back here at the IPFW Mastodon, the Mastodome, and as I was watching the screen there, we had Tim Heffern's name with April and April with me. That's not the way it is here. There it is. And we're having a good time up here watching this delightful match as the Dons kind of spreading it out a little bit, getting a lot of people some playing time here. We're about 13 seconds away from starting up our next game here. Getting some swings in are the Dons bench. And Quincy, you know, maybe they'll come to a little more life here. They will, hopefully the Quincy Hawks will put it together here, give us a little more of a test, pick up the intensity, give the fans a little something more to watch here.
It looks like the Dons are having a good time. They're really pulling together as a team, so tonight isn't going to be such a stressful night for them. They might be able to go home and relax instead of maybe go home so uptight, or maybe Arnie doesn't yell as much and they might have a little better evening.
Interesting observation there. As the team, oh boy, look at the team. They got to line up on the end line. Those new people don't really know that.
Wow, we have some new faces.
Yes, I see some new faces. Who do you know, and what do you know about those folks out there?
Well, Mike's played tonight. Let's see, we have Wayne. He's coming in.
Wayne Williams.
He's new to our program.
From Jamaica.
Huntley is in again.
Huntley
and
Hendrick
we see
again,
Pepa
yes.
in there. I think he's going to be the leader and help them out.
Be interesting to see Wayne. This is Wayne's first action of the year, I believe. Been working hard in practice, trying to learn an outside or a right side position. He's got tremendous ability. He has the highest touch on the team. I believe it's something like 11 feet 8 inches, which is way up in the air if you're not familiar with that.
Yeah, Wayne definitely has some ability. He just needs a little coaching to get him going in the right direction. And hopefully this experience will help him get in that direction.
Brad Perditis with a serious roof block. That could be considered being boothed. It's like you're hitting in a phone booth. As Wayne Williams is a little excited about playing tonight and hit the net. Unfortunately, he got some nice penetration, however. Let's see if he doesn't get a ball here. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a ball set to him. He can really get up in the air.
Bella to serve.
I think that's what Coach Arnie is looking for. He's looking for someone who will step up and play a role as a team leader or...
And Wayne, well, actually it was Wayne that hit the net and went under the net, but they called it on Quincy. And once again, Wayne doesn't quite have control yet and is a little anxious there. Wanted to start his approach before he really needed to. Ended up being late. Flew into the net a little bit. He'll be okay though once he gets going.
Yeah,
here's
he
his
does
first
look
chance.
Anxious.
Once again, he hits the net here.
He does look very anxious. He needs to get a hold on what he's doing and just play his part. That's a good swing by him.
Very nice swing. Ball just slides through his hands, off his head's out of bounds. It's too bad. He just needs to get into the swing, feel comfortable, like you say, get over those initial nerves. He'll be okay.
That's a great effort by Huntley. He's really stepped up in playing tonight and last night also.
Definitely Huntley, again, once he's got kind of a similar situation in being a rookie and somebody new, get maybe a little too nervous when you're in there and instead of just playing the game. Nice overpass kill there by Mike Termelin. We've got an ace serve. Nice job by Pepa. Three to 1 our score here at the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. Quincy with some trouble with the passing at this point. Ball never crossed the net. That's a pretty big block to look at there, I think.
I think so. He would definitely be looking up at both of those guys. They're one of the tallest people on our team and certainly the highest reaches. So that was a big block to look at.
And definitely their passing hindering the offense of Quincy, having some trouble, and they're Now the setter is attempting to go away from 6'7" and 6'6" block on our right side. He's trying to get it over to their right side. Unsuccessful so far. Somehow Michael didn't close the block there. I believe that went between the two blockers.
That's always hard for the middle back person to play, either between the block or...
As you can see on our replay here, right between those two blockers. Out to Huntley in live action here. Jill Lyon calls the ball good as it was. Don's happy about it, jumping around in the back there. Wayne still hasn't shaken off those early game jitters here. Not a whole lot going right for him yet, but hopefully he'll get into the swing of it before this thing's ended.
He's definitely looking at those players that have been in the game and looking for a little direction so that he can get in the game also.
Huntley with a very nice pass. Huntley's played pretty well here, I think. He's done some nice things. He's done what the team's asking him to do. He's not making any mistakes. Watch, he'll probably serve out now as I've jinxed him, but there's his candy cane. And yes, it just clipped the net. It was a nice serve, otherwise that'd have been an ace.
Carlson serving for the Hawks.
Quincy on serve. That's long. Good talk by the Dons. They're all calling that ball out, which is another very important thing in volleyball is communication with your teammates.
Especially with the new players, you see IPFW maybe working as a team a little bit better, because with new players, you're not sure what's going to happen, who's going to have the jitters or who's going to be on or off. You really got to watch what you're doing.
Nice block by Pepa there. Good serve by Michael. They go for the middle, and somehow he got that ball through, but Dan says he hit the net. Quincy hit the net. Here's the replay here, and I'm not sure, but apparently he hit the net, so the Dons get another point. But yet Mike serves the ball out. 7-1 lead for the Dons. Serve is in. Nice pass by Brad. Oh, it's a big joust at the net.
That's a great play by Steve, knowing that the setter is ready. The rest of the team can follow.
You can tell Steve is a senior at that point there. It's a pretty nice play. Last one to push always wins, and he was the last one. Back row. The pass, they're used to passing that ball up there to Loy, you know, and poor Steve is just not 6'8". At this point, you know, we'll put him on the rack and see what we can do about that, but just got to bring that pass just a tad back off that net there. And here's that rotation I was talking about. Pepa steps back, helping to pass, where he's the front row middle hitter.
Both times he's gotten lucky, and they haven't served to him yet.
If I were the other team, and I noticed that, I'd be serving that person, huh? Another ace. Bradley likes that. It's pretty methodical here tonight, Brad. Very nice serve, tough serve. They have trouble with it. They get it over, however. And Wayne, poor Wayne, just can't do anything right here, can he?
No, it doesn't look that way. That didn't look too bad from up here, but Dan seems to think not.
Yeah, I've been working with him on his hands also, and he tends to grab the ball, bring it down, and push it back up, and he just can't do that. Nice play by the Dons, however. Omar is coming into the game. Omar Garcia. This is his first action. As you can see that replay there, that's a nice play by the Dons. Omar in for Pepa. Omar originally from Puerto Rico. Family resides in Florida now, I believe. And that ball slides through that block again, once again, right through the middle. Mike's got to close the block. As the middle hitter, he's got to get his feet over there. Have a little delay here. Things are taken care of, a little housekeeping, and we're back on serve with Quincy. Very nice pass by Huntley. Didn't get outside to hit, but snuck that ball over anyway. You know, it was a great pass, but you didn't think he was going to get set after he passed the ball. He forgot that he was hitting also.
It looked like he was maybe a second too late and maybe judged the ball wrong, but I think he noticed where the people were and he put it right in between them.
Wayne with a jumper. It's good. Ball is out. Wayne lets that ball go. I think Wayne has got his first successful play of the night right there.
I think so. That's going to help his ego very much so in playing.
That's good. That's something new for him. He just started working on his jump serve this winter, this January. He's tossed that one a little too far out in front of him. Pulled it down into the net. I think he's got potential, though. Mike kind of swings and waffles that one in there. Net on Quincy, as you can see in this replay here. It's a nice pass, and Mike kind of waiting there, waiting, and he swings. Huntley with his candy cane, zings it over the net. That set's too tight. Mike with some hands. Steve outside to Brad, and he spanks it. He likes it, gets the crowd into it.
That's what the crowd likes to see, somebody who will hit the ball hard and get the team going, and Brad's certainly done that.
He's got Davenport into the game for Huntley. Davenport has got a nice floater. Puts one back there. Decent pass by Quincy. They roll the ball. Let's run the offense, and it's a tip. Off the head of Michael. Good hustle by the Dons, couldn't quite come up with it. 10-1 our score here. It's a nice pass by Scott. Wayne out of the back row, and that ball's good. I like that. And so does the bench. So does the bench. Wayne's pretty happy. See this replay here, he's way up. Takes care of it.
That's a great play for Wayne to step up and hit the ball hard and keep it in.
A little trouble again for Quincy here. They give us a free ball. Ball's outside to Brad. And that's like taking candy from a baby for Brad. He's got enough experience.
Yeah, it seems like Quincy is maybe not trying as hard. They look like they're ready to go home maybe, and the Volleyball are just waiting for more.
And we have a timeout here called by Quincy at this point. Score is 11-2, and Dons are up 2 games to none. If they win this, they're in.
Channel 6 is now accepting applications for underwriting the televising of IPFW sports events and other programs. For more information about how your business or organization can utilize this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours at 481-6000.
Back here, the timeout has concluded. We've got Eddie Eduardo, as he's called, Rivera. I call him Eddie. I gave him that nickname. He looks like he's blocking middle. Nope, he's switching. Omar's going to block middle. It's a short...
Wow, we have miscommunication by Quincy. They are just not ready to play against our team.
Look at that lineup for the Dons. That might be one of the shortest blocking lineups for the Dons in recent history.
I think so.
Wayne with a dig.
Great dig.
And unfortunately, Omar into the net. Nice
we definitely
dig.
have some effort out there between all the new guys out there, so we'll see if they can do this. I'm sure they can.
They're all new people out there, with the exception of Steve, the senior. Steve is the lone senior with 5 new faces this year to the Dons. Ball is deep, long gone. Steve, I hope Steve whips up the spinner.
Looks like Scott's going to come in for us and take Steve's position.
Scott Lauer entering the game here for Steve Simonson, as Arnie likes to call him. Simonson is the correct pronunciation. Nice job by Steve. Oh, a little much on that one. He's a little anxious to get in the game. Maybe he wants to keep the game going by serving out. Is that a fair assessment?
I think so. I think they're all anxious to play. They're not used to having as much opportunity.
Nice pass by Scott. We've got the tip by Eddie on the combination X play there. Eddie's like, well, I didn't know what to do. There was no block up, and there's this big hole in the middle, so I thought I'd put the ball there. Nice play by him. He's a little spark plug.
You'll always notice that Eduardo is smiling. He comes in the game, and even if the whole team is down, he's smiling.
And Michael was going to set that ball, but it got too high on him, and he realized if he sets the ball, he knows he's going to get called for the lift, so he let it go instead of just playing it with one hand with a fist or something like that, knuckle that ball up there. Ooh, almost get a block on Scott Davenport, but Scott's a little too strong. He's got a nice swing. See the replay there. Nice serve, it's an overpass. Scott passes the ball to the other Scott. Wayne with a big swing, he's way over that block. Rips into that net. He's got a little too excited there. And we're really trying to pull for Wayne to be successful here.
Looks like we have our tallest front row here, and Scott's going to utilize that right there with Mike.
Nice job by the Dons. They're playing well. You know, they got a whole bunch of new faces in there, but they're still playing like IPFW can play.
Now into the game for Quincy, number 12.
Wayne with the serve here. Let's see if he goes for that jumper again. I believe he will. No spin on that one, however.
Side out Quincy. Prokopiev for serve.
And Michael going up for show there, yelling and everything, but I don't believe he thought he was going to get set.
It looked like he just decided to swing straight ahead, and maybe by accident that other middle blocker was right in front of him.
Scott Davenport's got to put that ball away. Didn't move his feet in position to jump. And Scott has that same type of problem that Ricky has when he gets to the position. When he gets to the position to jump and he moves his feet in time, he's okay.
Here we see Loy in the game, but I don't think he's going to set.
No, I believe Loy has come in as a middle hitter. Wayne with the back row hit. The
Nice
blue
job by Wayne.
successful off the block out of bounds. Loy is our middle hitter at this point. As Arnie has some words for Mike to Nolan there on the bench. Oh, that's big. That's a big block. That's another booth. Get boofed by Loy there. Here's the replay. And kadoink. Papinga, as we used to say. Back row.
Good play by Omar
Very
there.
nice,
He was
very
ready.
nice. Tip. Eddie's all over that. Middle to Loy. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
That's a good play by Loy. Being ready in the middle. That's one thing that you need to have on the team is your middles need to be ready.
Game point. 14-4 our score. Scott with a floater serve for game point. Crowd up on their feet. And it's out. Long gone. Match. Game point match. IPFW relatively easy over Quincy, the Quincy Hawks here. Score is 15-4 in that final game. Your impressions on the match here?
I like to see the Dons, this quote second team, come in, and they kept the score the same as the first team did, 15-4, and they didn't let the other team score. And so that proves that they can play with the quote first team, as they say. They played really well together.
Nice job by the Dons. The match took a total of 1 hour, I believe. And we have selected Huntley Hendrick as our player of the game, the Don of the night, the dandy Don as it were. And we're ready to take a break here and go on with some messages, and we will be back to talk with Huntley as April will interview him in a few moments. We'll be back shortly.
Alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. In May of '94, IPFW will host the Men's Collegiate Final Four Volleyball Championships. Royal Dons will be first in line to purchase preferred seating. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you help us?
I'm sorry,
Sir, please help our brother. Ma'am, we need some blood for our brother. Please.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Sir? Please, ma'am.
Oh, not now, baby.
Our brother really needs blood. Can you help us?
Imagine if you had to ask for blood to save the life of someone you love. Next time the American Red Cross asks, give blood, please.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
What comes to your mind when you think about mathematics? Clowns, street sweepers, the Red Sox, robots, the weather, earthquakes, Disney World, pineapples, conventions, parking tickets, fishing? If these practical applications of contemporary mathematics didn't make your list, you should watch public television's math series For All Practical Purposes.
You made it. Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
It's all right. I'm going to get a job, I'm going to start working, I'm going to save, and I'll be in college in another year or two.
So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm going to go home and make a sandwich. Okay, man.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Vince, come on, we'll land. This headbanging is more fun than going through a windshield.
Good night from Iron Maiden. Drive home safe. Remember to strap yourselves in with your safety belts. You don't want to end up like Eddie.
Belt up. Don't be a dummy.
Time for a little math test. What's the common denominator of the following situations? Time's up, and the answer is algebra. Not what you expected? Neither is the new PBS series I'm hosting. I'm Saul Garfunkel, and the series is called In Simplest Terms. Join me as we bring college algebra down to earth.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center as IPFW is victorious over Quincy tonight. The scores of the match are 15-2, 15-6, 15-4. That makes the Dons 6-2 on the season and Quincy 1-5, continuing the Dons' winning streak in the MIVA now is 3-0. And we at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you the cable cast of the NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate athletics from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by Channel 6's budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in the quality college programming by sending your contribution to the Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. At this point, April Bear is now down. Make your checks payable to Indiana Purdue Foundation and College Cable Access Athletics. At this point, April Bear is down with our Dandy Don of the night, who is Huntley Hendrick, freshman swing hitter out of Wellsville, New York. And here is April.
Tonight we are here with Huntley, the Don of the game, and we'd like to ask him a few questions. Tonight it seemed like the Dons were playing pretty well as a team. We saw a lot of new faces. And I just want to know what your perspective was from being down there with all the new faces and the new guys.
It was just really nice to get out and play with the team. Like, we're trying to work on team unity and stuff like that, so it worked pretty well.
Okay, it seems like the new faces worked together well. We saw Wayne come in there, and you stepped up well. Last night and tonight, we saw some really good serves. And do you feel comfortable out there with all those new faces?
Yes, I do. I feel real comfortable with the new faces, and it's, you know, I'm just getting used to the new environment here at the IPFW because it's a real competitive place, and so it's coming well.
It seems like it would be hard to step up. We have a lot of good players that have been here for a while, and the younger guys need to take a bigger role and step up and do the things they need to. And it seems like you've been doing a good job. Have practices been going as well for you as the team playing out here?
Yeah, they have been, and as far as we have the older guys that we look up to, and so that's, you know, we're trying to fill their shoes eventually, and so in practice we're just real competitive and stuff. So
it seems like you guys did really well tonight, and we chose you because you're kind of a spark plug out there, and the other guys did well also. Thank you, and good job tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, April. And once again, Quincy having a tough time coming in here. Of course, they don't have a whole lot of history yet as far as volleyball is concerned. With the men's side of things, they lost tonight to IPFW 15-2, 15-6, and 15-4. And at this point, we'd like to take this time to thank Channel 6 volunteer crew and the Learning Resource Center at IPFW for their contributions to the live production of our volleyball match this evening. The telecast of this IPFW sports event is copyrighted and the sole property of College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or any other use of this event without express written consent, written consent, is strictly prohibited. Don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 Thursday evening at 6 o'clock to see GLVC basketball action as Bellarmine College takes on IPFW. For April Bear, this is Tim Heffron. Goodbye for now.